Guys, I love bluff catching. The way I love beating people in poker is figuring out what they're up to and calling them out on their bluffs. But today, I want to show a hand where I kind of wasn't sure, even though my hand was pretty strong. And I also want to show that how important blockers are when bluff catching, and that sometimes hand strength doesn't mean that you should be bluff catching, and it's more about blockers rather than hand strength. So I was at a house game. We were playing 1-3 no limit. I got dealt pocket jacks in the big blind, and we were super deep, like 1,500 or so deep, maybe 1,300 since this is the main villain over here. And it gets folded down to him. He raises the 12. Button calls. So I actually made the 60, but I might have wrote it down wrong. And so I'll just say 50. And so standard, he calls. Other villain folds, and we go to a flop. I see bet really small. I actually bet 40 in real life, but for the sake of the solver, I'll put 30. He calls. The turn is the jack of spades. I hate this website. And giving us a set. So here's where I sort of veer from regular. Normally I should be barreling, but he actually has more of the straights like queen 10, etc. So I actually checked, and when he put out his small bet, like he instantly put it out. I was like, okay, I have the best hand. This guy's a loose cannon. I forgot to tell you about his player type, but he's pretty wild, pretty loose. I check raise to 250. He instantly calls again, and the river is one of the most disastrous cards in the deck, which is the queen of diamonds. But at the same time, and I'll tell you why, it could be good, because I checked and he instantly jams for almost pot, and I tanked. And the best card to have here, at least, well, a good card to have, I'll go over what the best card to have is. It's probably the 10 of diamonds, is the jack of diamonds. If I have any other card that's not the jack of diamonds, I probably have to fold. But I did plug this in the solver, so we're going to get a little bit into solver land, and I'll show you what the best combination to call with. And before I show you guys, I would like you guys to make a guess what the best combo to call here with when we get to the river. And if you guys get this right without running your own sim, maybe I'll start doing some giveaways and maybe give you guys some gift cards or something. I would like to know what you guys think the best combo is. Remember, you have to get to the river with this line, and you need to have the best bluffing or the best bluff catching combo. Now, I did end up making the call. My thought process was when the queen of diamonds hits, he's never jamming a straight here. I mean, actually, never's a bad word to use here, but he sometimes might jam a straight. But I thought that actually with the flush coming in and it being the queen of diamonds, meaning he can't have like queen of diamonds, 10 of X, it lowers the odds of him having the straight. So now I'm only bluff catching flushes. I'm only losing to flushes. That's it. I have the best set. He never has pocket queens here. The only reason he doesn't have pocket queens is because he might just go crazy pre-flop with them. He should have pocket queens at frequency. But besides that, I don't think he's going to bet this massively with a straight. So only bluff catching straights. I have the jack of diamonds, flushes. I have the jack of diamonds, which blocks a lot of the good flushes, especially like combo draw flushes, jack 10 of diamonds, those types. So I go ahead and make the call, and he mucks. He said he did have a combo draw on the turn, something like the seven of diamonds and some other card, 7-6, something like that. I don't mind his bluff too much, but he probably wants to be holding like the ace of diamonds, king of diamonds, stuff like that. And we could go over that in the solver, which we're going to do right now. Hey guys, so I just put in a huge poker session about 10 hours or so, and I had a lot of time to think about this this hand. Part of the reason why I've spent so much time thinking about this hand, well, the first one was I just had a bad feeling about the river. It's a spot that's just massively underbluffed, and part of me just like wanted to fold. And secondly, I ran the solve. This is like the third, or this is probably the fourth time I've ran this solve, and just I had to tweak it so many times because it just wasn't working. And part of it is the opponent's range. I tweaked this multiple times, and I can't get exact because you can't get exact in general. It's a human being. You just don't know what they're doing. But like I kept making his range wider and wider because what he had on the river was like a 7-8 off or 7-6 off or something like that. So in order for me to like put that in his range, I just had to kept making his range wider and wider. And it just shows how bad this range actually is, and that just card edge alone against this range, you can't win. There's too much junk. There's just too much junk in the range. And especially like in these configurations. So as you can see up top, and I hope you guys can see this, I don't want to harp on this hand much longer because what I originally wanted to do was for you guys to see the equity. I mean, I guess equity, but what hands are the best bluff catchers in the river. The problem is if you see this, we don't really want to do anything but because we want to bet large. I did so many different sizings for this hand, and it never used the small bet, which is the bet I used. And I think I learned something here, guys. And this is such a great learning moment in poker for me. And this is why I keep coming back to this game, and I just freaking love this game. And I've been so into it lately. Like the last like month, I've been grinding like freaking crazy. I haven't lost a single session of Hold'em in the last like month. Okay. I just love this game. And here it is. If your opponent is going to play this bullshit range, this range that cannot win in the long run when you're getting 3-bet, especially when I'm using an optimal 3-betting strategy, it's going to go freaking large on this with its whole range besides pocket sevens. And it is going to print money against that bullshit fish range. Okay? And if we get to the river, 1 second. Jack of spades. Turn. I checked, which it's mixing checks. And then his bet's like 270, which is not what happened. So let's just do this. And then if I raise here, and it's just going so big. It's just going way too big for this to be a real thing. And like a lot of this solve, a lot of this whole video, this plan I had was to like learn from my thing. But the amount of node locking that would have been done is just unreasonable. And this is why I've gotten away from the solver. I'm learning a ton. I just learned so much in terms of there's stuff I learned here that I cannot make a video about. A, it'd be too long, and B, I just can't give up some of this information if you want to play against me. It's just too much to learn here. And part of it is I learned a lot from the solver, like going big on every street against his bullshit range on this kind of board. Yeah, he's got 9-10. I mean, he's got queen 10 sometimes. We got everything else. We have everything. We have everything. It's over. You don't ever have jacks. You barely have 9s. You barely have 8s. Pocket 4s sometimes. I mean, it's just. So on the river, the queen of diamonds. I mean, we're getting to this. I just want to make sure. Bet 120. I raise. He call. I check full, and then he jams. The whole point of this river was to show like that pocket jacks is a fold. But I changed everything because he's playing so far away from GTO, and you're gonna see this, guys, in your games, how much people veer from GTO. And again, these sizings are not what I use. And I just look at this, all the diamond combos. So look, king 10, 8, 9. That's it straight. Queen 10, look. Queen of hearts, 10 of hearts, calls. That was the point of the video. I was gonna be like, guys, Guess a high EV hand. Guess the hands that are calling. Queen 10. You know? Jack 10. Jack to hearts. Jack of hearts, 10 of hearts. These blocking, you know? That's the kind of stuff I want to show you guys. And it's tough. It's just so hard. This game's so hard because it's so hard to learn from this stuff. When a guy's playing this nonsense range. Look at this nonsense. Jack of hearts, 10 of hearts. Are you fucking calling with the Jack of hearts, 10 of hearts here, guys? Are you folding all combos of pocket jacks? Pocket Jack of diamonds, Jack of hearts has 3.7 equity. Pocket Jacks, Jack of clubs has 12.5% equity. Can you fold a set here? It's because this game tree is nonsense. I just wanted to go over it. You can learn from the solver, but you shouldn't copy the solver. That's what you need to learn from this, guys. I love this game. I just do. There's so much to learn. I hope you guys learned something. I'm just I'm just ready to punish fish all week. That's what I'm ready for. It's Friday night tomorrow. I want to get this video out there. And everything turns. I ran this solve 4 times. I had to tweak it so many times. My original solve, I had the typical bet size on the flop. This solve, I have bet 30 and pot. Because I try to get it to bet 30%. And it never did. Why? Like I said before, exploit the fish. Like this video if you love Texas Hold'em, no limit. None of this pot limit shit. Like this video if you love poker as much as I do. And keep studying. Because I am going to take your money if you don't do this shit. I'm going to take your freaking money.